Hey, it's Bob, and in this episode of Real Retail TV, you are going to get 10 ideas in 10 minutes. At every Retail Success Summit, Susan and I battle. We have a face-off, and each of us give 30 ideas. So 60 ideas in 60 minutes. And this is always one of the most popular programs at the Retail Success Summit. One of our clients shared that they made $30,000 from one idea. $30,000 in 1 year. That idea is going to keep generating money for years and years and years. So if you haven't registered for the Retail Success Summit yet, now is the time to do it. These 10 ideas in 10 minutes is just a tiny sample of the great information that you're going to find at the Retail Success Summit. So I'm going totally old school here, but this is the single most important thing that you can do to keep your store running the way it's supposed to run. Have an open and closing checklist, make it a non-negotiable standard that it is used every morning and every night, and that is done to standard, and then the silver bullet. Always initialed, never checked. If you let people check the closing checklist, you're never going to have any accountability. If they are forced to, if the standard is they have to initial it, it will be done. It will be done right. If it's not, you get a chance to follow up and coach. This is critical.
Raise your hand if you're using an opening and closing checklist right now.
Okay.
Right. If your hand's not up, you need to do that for sure. Put it on your action item list.
That was a great tip. Make sure you remember that when you vote.
Understand initial markup. This is
she's getting all fancy on us now.
Okay, shh, you're taking my time, man. This is really important. You can take a look at this equation, but basically it lets you set how much profit you want to make. So like if you want to make 8% profit and you've got all these other pieces of your expense puzzle figured out, you can figure out how much do I need to mark up my goods to make that profit. So if I wanted to make 10%, it would be higher. If I wanted to make 3%, it would be less. But it tells you exactly how much you have to mark up your goods initially in order to make that profit.
All right, number 9, Way of Life. This is an app that you can use to build habits. And every day you choose the habits that you want to put. When I use the Way of Life, I have things like exercise, breathing, meditating. One of the things that I believe in is the importance of doing the first things first. It's called the one thing. So I have key habits that I want to build built into Way of Life. And then every day I get to check in and say, yes, I did it, no, I didn't do it, or gray, I skipped it. If you or I have a streak going, it'll ding at me and reward me for my appropriate behavior. So if you want to create great habits, and habits are the foundation of everything, go sign up for Way of Life.
Oh, so close. I almost got to beep him. Right?
Maybe to be nice, I should just go over so she can just use the horn, right?
He keeps talking over my time. Number 10, send a vendor newsletter. Now, I know that you guys probably send newsletters and email communication with your customer list, but this is a great tip to help you build better relationships with your vendors. Create an email list of all your vendors. You can write an email just like you do to your customers, marketing your store, but market to your vendors. Let them know what you're doing for events. Let them know what's selling. Create a Partner of the Month program. Tell them what you need from them. Send them an employee profile so they know who's working your store. Communicate with your vendors, and they will be much more willing to help you with discounts, shipping, terms, all that stuff.
The next one is your voice, your text function on your phone now has a voice function. Isn't this awesome? We talk about building the gratitude muscle. You can take your favorite customers, you can take your favorite vendors, you can take your favorite friends, you can talk to loved ones and leave them quick messages telling them how much you appreciate them, letting them know about new arrivals, just so many things. It just personalizes the whole texting function. Recognize that it's there and use it. It's a really, really great thing.
All right. Number 12, no miscellaneous. Check your department structure, people. If you have a miscellaneous classification, if you have a miscellaneous department, now is the time to banish that from your merchandise structure. I guarantee you that nobody here at the Retail Success Summit has a miscellaneous store. You don't, right? You don't sell miscellaneous. And if you've got a miscellaneous department, you're not capturing the data that you need to from your customers. They're voting with their wallets, they're buying this merchandise that's going into your miscellaneous categories, but you don't have the information you need to make your correct buying decisions, so no more miscellaneous.
Wow, you are so good. I
Right
can't even
to the edge.
believe it. So number 13, get new quotes. We talk about the hole in the bucket with customers. There's also a hole in the bucket on your P&L. And it's amazing how often we just stay with what we don't know about. So once a year or every other year, you should get new quotes on your insurance. I've been encouraging you to go see Integrity so that you can get new quotes on your credit card processing. You should get quotes on your phone and internet. You work way too hard to pay it, to let that money go to people who shouldn't have it. So it's really just spend a half day, go through your P&L, find the vendors that you need new quotes from, and then just you or somebody in your team go out, collect quotes, and you may save a whole bunch of money.
And with your insurance, you need to make sure you have the appropriate coverage. All right, number 14, give them a gift. Everybody that walks into your store, how can you give them a gift? Remember, we talked this morning a lot about givers get. What little thing can you give them? So this is from Tracy Bartholomew at Village Fashions in Canada, and she creates all these little branded gifts. It's a nail file, a tiny little mini roller, some static spray. She does all kinds of little things like this in her store, and she gives them away to every customer that comes in, whether they buy or not, and then every time they file their nails, they're looking at Village Fashions. So what kinds of things could you give that would be useful, helpful for your customers, high value, low cost, that would create that rule of reciprocity?
All right, the next one is non-negotiable standards. If you've been part of our community for any amount of time, if you've been through the staff development kit in the Retail Mastery System, you know how strongly we feel about non-negotiable standards. A non-negotiable standard is a standard that your team members adhere to in exchange for their employment. Meaning this is important that this is done this way. Do it this way or you're not going to have a job. Pick 3 of them right now. In fact, I had this conversation this morning. Something that's driving you crazy, something that's a great opportunity, something that needs to be taken care of. Pick 3 and make a commitment to them. No, I can't do it. Pick 3. Pick 3, make a commitment to them. When you've got those taken care of, layer in some more. Pretty soon you're going to have a store that runs on rails. Oh, come on now. Come on now. You see, and I was going to be nice and go over just so you could use your horn. But now I'm not anymore.
All right, I love this one. Be a community resource. This is a picture that I took when I was in New York City with my girlfriends the same weekend that we got the champagne and cupcakes from Olive and Betty's. This is at the Eileen Fisher store in Soho, actually, and I thought it was a brilliant idea that I wanted to share with you. Be a community resource. Those are just up there with little maggots. They had painted a little magnetic chalkboard right at the entrance to their store, and they were giving their customers ideas of fun things to do, places to eat, and health and wellness opportunities in their community. So they are becoming a community resource. So how could you set up something like this in your store where you could partner with your local friends and become a great community resource?
That's 10 ideas in 10 minutes. Imagine 60 ideas in 60 minutes. And recognize that that is just one program out of 2 full days filled with retail-specific information to help you grow your sales, grow your profits, expand your beliefs, expand your mindset, build better habits. You know, it's the Retail Success Summit is just one of those events that will help you expand your business and build a better life. If you haven't registered yet, do so right now, and we'll see you in Grand Rapids.